Everyone knows that food items have expiration dates. You might have even put something back on the shelf from one time or another because the printed date was nearing. But do you actually know what those dates are good for? Sell by, or best if used by, can often be found on almost any food item packaging, but it does not necessarily mean that when the clock hits midnight and that printed date is reached, the food is instantly and/or magically spoiled. Cape Cod Healthcare posted a notice on their website last Tuesday, March 14th, about food safety and expiratory dates. Expiration dates can be confusing and very misleading. According to Cape Cod Hospital's registered dietitian Nicole Clark, these dates are unregulated and vary greatly, causing confusion even among experts. Clark went through the trouble of finding the 5 most common printed food date labels and translated them to be understood more easily. Best if used by or best if used before. A date companies use to tell you when their products will be of the best quality or best flavor. This date is not a marker for food safety. It has more to do with what the company feels their quality of their product will be after a certain date. Sell by date. A date stores applied to manage their own inventory. This date is not a marker of food safety. Use by date. The last date recommended for the use of a product while at peak quality. This is not a food safety date except for when used in infant formula. Freeze by date. This date indicates when a product should be frozen to maintain peak quality. This date is not a food safety date. Because this information is not widely known, people will often side with caution and just throw away food that is past date even though it may not be necessary. The USDA Food Safety and Inspection Services recommendation is, with an exception of infant formula, and if the label date passes during home storage, a product should still be safe and wholesome if handled properly until the time spoilage is evident. Spoiled foods will often develop an odor, flavor, or texture due to naturally occurring spoilage bacteria. If a food has developed such spoilage characteristics, it should not be eaten. The USDA has also stated 30% of the food supply is lost at the consumer levels in the United States. Clark believes, confusing food labels are a big reason for throwing away wholesome food. To help combat food loss, Clark lists some basic food safety tips. 1. Food shouldn't be sitting at room temperature for more than 2 hours. 2. Hot foods need to be stored at over 140 degrees Fahrenheit and cold foods need to be stored below 41 degrees Fahrenheit. 3. Use separate cutting boards, plates, and utensils for raw and cooked roast to avoid cross-contamination. 4. Wash items that touched raw poultry and meat. 5. Wash fruits and vegetables to avoid airborne illnesses. To find Cape Cod Healthcare's article on Clark's food safety, you can go to capecodhealthcare.org and type food safety in their search tab. For Cape Media News, I'm Ryan Downs.